I've never used one of these before. Like, this is my first ever holding one. Thank you all for coming out today. I honestly did not expect this. I mean, there are people sitting on the floor here, and this place can hold 160 people. So to me, that just means so much to me. And we'll be starting soon. I just want to make sure everybody's in here that is going in. Okay, so George, that goes in. Yeah. I got a lot of stuff planned today, and it's going to be really cool. I've always wanted to come here and speak to people ever since I came here the first time. It's going to be fun. We're going to have fun. It ain't going to be like all sad stuff, because like I went to a few workshops last year, and they were all sad. I mean, well, some of them were, but they really resonated with me. I want that to happen with you guys too, but I also want you to have a good time, because I mean, sad is a great thing. You know, the fact that they're able to put on something like this every year, or 2 years, is phenomenal. And that there is so many people here. I mean, there's like, what, 500 people here? Just ready to see people speak like me. All right, so without any further ado, let's go. All right, my name is James C. Mosey. I'm a sophomore from Larimore High School. And like I said before, it means a lot for me to be here. You know, when I came here last year with my SADD group, I was just kind of like, okay. You know, it's just a trip. I get out of school. I wasn't really big into SADD yet. But then when I did come here, I was open, my eyes were open, not only to the world in front of me, but the world beyond me, that I could explore and have fun exploring with people that I love and care about. So, and you know, I haven't been speaking very long. I actually did one show before this in front of 22 people at my school. And I was like, wow, that's big for me. 22. That's like double digits. I mean, I was floating when that place got filled, and it was small. It was like classroom small. And then I was doing some things, trying to figure out what my next move would be, because I wanted to speak again. And then I got this call from the guy that runs this, and my counselor said, hey, do you want to go here and speak? I was like, you gotta be kidding me. I was like, I do, because I did my first one in October, and then I got asked to be here in November. That's 1 month afterwards. I know people that work at this for years and years, like 4 years worth, and then they finally get to come here. That one guy that was speaking to us earlier, he said he's been doing this for like, what, 13 years now? That's insane. I've been doing this for a month. I don't try to think I'm a big shot. I'm not. I'm just a kid from Larimore. But I have big dreams and big ambitions, and that's why I'm here. That's why I'm able to be here. So thank you. So before I get on with the actual speech, I want to liven things up a little bit, and this is what I did at my first speech. So I'm just going to set this down until I get this thing on. All right. So I got a beef belt with some questions on it. I'm just going to pop it out, and when you get it, I want you to say your name and then answer the question, and then if you want to chuck it out or throw it back to me, that's cool, and then let's do this for a little bit. So, all right, I'll start. My name is James Mosey, and the question is, what is your dream job? My dream job is to be a professional musician.
Wait, okay, so which one do I ask?
You can just ask anyone.
Oh. Okay. Chocolate or vanilla? Totally chocolate.
What's your name?
My name's Jaden.
All
Jaden
right.
Hyde.
All right, so do you want to check it out or do you want to pass it back up to me?
I'll just pop it.
Okay. Don't worry, we'll chop it around a few times. People get to see it.
What TV show do you hate?
Oh, that's a good one.
It's very hard.
dude. TV's good. Good away. All right, so if you want to touch it out again. What's your name?
Cat.
All right. Good to see you. Who's got the ball? Yeah, find a good question you like. Just find out.
My name's Erin.
All right.
What is your favorite class? Chemistry.
Oh, chemistry. It doesn't ball. It's just, that's why I chose to be ball. People will be here.
Ketchup or mustard? I definitely choose ketchup.
Uh-huh.
Actually, ultimately be ranch.
Nice. Good enough.
Okay, my name is Katie,
Katie?
and my favorite movie is Camel Kirk.
Good.
My favorite favorite is grilled chicken.
That's a good one. That's really good. Keep going for a little bit. For a while.
My name is Jamie.
Hey, Jamie.
And what movie makes you cry? Two Brothers.
Good. Nice. For me, it's Titanic. It's like Marley and me on ball with Marley and me. Not gonna lie. You want me to? You just, okay.
My name is Lydia, and it's cat or dog and dog.
All right. Dog first.
Almost popped it with my nails.
Yeah.
Okay. My name is Mickey. No, okay, these are so hard.
Don't worry, we got plenty of time.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm not worried about it. It's great. It's great.
Okay, fine. What's that one about the dog? Okay, I saw this one. It's probably not. Okay, if your dog could talk, what would he say? I don't know. He speaks Spanish.
Oh. All right. Anybody on the floor want it? Anybody? Yeah. Okay. I see you. Thank you. All right. Here you go. I like your hair, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. It's good.
My name is Taylor.
Hey, Taylor.
Okay, the question is, if you could go anywhere in the world, where would you go? And I would go to Europe.
Awesome. Thank you. Anybody else want it for a little bit? No? I see your hand back there, sir. I'm on my way. There you are. Good job. Good job.
Who is the one person you, oh, my name's Ben.
Hey,
Who is
Ben.
the one person you wish you could meet? And that would probably be Climb Granger from Harry Potter.
Oh, that's awesome.
My name's Kylie.
Hey.
Who is your favorite superhero? My favorite superhero would be Iron Man.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Batman. I heard of Batman. Not yet. Batman is good. All right. So yeah. Okay. So yeah. So like I was talking about how I got inspired to be a motivational speaker, and it really did inspire me being here because it was such a great atmosphere. You know, I got a lot of personal stuff I'm going to talk about with you guys, and that was really touched upon last year. So it's really great. There's some people I want to dedicate this speech to real quick. One of which being was Leela A. Alcorn. You may have heard of her. She was recently a transgender who committed suicide because her family and friends rejected her and she was bullied because of her life choices. You know, she didn't want to be just one or the other. She wanted to be something else, and you can do whatever you want to be in life. And you shouldn't have to be bullied because you want to be something different. So she really meant a lot to me. Let's see, Kat Perkins. She is a singer, professional singer. She does The Voice. And she actually came to my school like a month or two ago, and she not only sang some songs, but she actually like spoke like motivational, you know. And I was like, wow. Besides being a female, she's what I want to be in life. She's a musician and a motivational speaker. That is my goal. That is my goal in life. So she meant a lot to me. I got to speak to her afterwards, and she was like, wow, you know, the fact that you want to be a singer and a speaker is great. Then there were some students you might have heard about killed in Ray High School crash. 3 were killed, and that's just awful. They did get this to them because obviously they died very young, and that isn't okay in this world. And one of the things I want to stand up for is stopping suicide and bullying, because you don't need to die in life when things get bad, and you shouldn't make bad choices. You know, if you feel that that car isn't safe, don't get in the car. It's worth your life than to hang out with your friends. And last was those, and this one's very personal to me, those injured and killed in the Landmark bus crash that happened a few months ago. This really hit me hard because I'm from Landmark. And it would have hit me the exact same, it would have hit me bad if there were, you know, if there were just like 1 or 2 or 3 people, but the people that were killed were my close friends and people that I really looked up to. A teacher of mine was killed who I felt had accepted me as a freshman when I didn't know what to do in high school. He showed me some things that I still use today. How to talk to people, how to be respectful, you know, how to go about life and always keep your head up high. So he meant a lot to me. And there was another person that was killed. Her name is Cassidy Sandstrom. And Cassidy was a good friend of mine. She came to my first show, and I spoke to her afterwards from that first show, and she said I did great. And I was like, I don't know. It was just something I threw together. I didn't even know what I was doing. But she was like, no, this is going to happen. You're going to make a difference in the world. You're going to do another show. And I was like, maybe. And she was like, no, you will. And I'm going to be there. And sadly, she's not. She isn't here. And I know that she would have just loved it to have heard that I was going to be going to the state SADD convention, not just as a visitor, but as a speaker. So, for what she meant to me, and for what because she believed in my dreams that I didn't know if I could accomplish. So, because of all that she did, I would like to place this rose on her chair. And her chair is that reserve chair right there, as a sign of my appreciation for what she did for my life and many others. So thank you. Give her a round of applause for Kathy. Now, let's get on to this actual speech, but thank you so much. That really means a lot because I can do this pretty good. All right. I'm going to get into my personal story here. And yeah, it's kind of sad, happy at the same time, but it's deep. And I want you to know this takes a lot for me to do. So, you know, I feel comfortable there. And it's great because this is what SADD can do. Okay. So, when I was 2, I was diagnosed with cerebral palsy in my legs. And for those of you who don't know, cerebral palsy is a condition that affects your muscles. It makes them tighter. It makes them hard for you to walk. For me, it's hard for me to walk, balance, run, jump, all that stuff. If you haven't noticed, I might walk a little differently from you guys. That's okay. I know I walk differently, but I don't let it define who I am. I know I'm different, but it just makes me, me. And I can't change that, but I'm glad I can't. Because if I didn't have CP, then I wouldn't be here talking right now. Over the course of my life, from age 2, I've had 5 surgeries. Everyone has changed my life, in good ways and in bad. Without the surgeries, I would be in a wheelchair. But thanks to them, I can walk. But those surgeries were very painful. One after the other, I got scars on my body, my back, legs, ankles, feet. And every day, they hurt just a little bit. I'm not sure why. The doctor said that by now they should just feel like nothing, just a part of your skin, unless you were to rub your fingers across it. But they kind of sting every now and then. I think that's just a reminder that I have them. and that I am unique in some way, like all of you guys are today. I don't know. It kind of sets me apart from people. It's just something I live with. It's not a little painful, but it's just kind of annoying. Also, another thing with CP, and you might notice this might happen like later in the presentation. When you do have cerebral palsy, your startle reflexes get increased. I am incredibly jumpy. I'm not kidding you when I tell you this. I'm not afraid to tell you this. I'll be sitting in class, working on homework. The bell will ring, I will jump. In front of everybody, they'll laugh, they'll snicker. It makes me feel awful. But it's happened so many times, now that I'm just like, you know what? Go ahead and laugh. It's just part of my, I can't change that. It's just the way I was born. And even if there is some surgery that can fix it, I don't know if I want it. Because I'd be losing a part of me. And what makes me me is amazing. When I was in elementary school, it didn't matter as much. You know, little kids, you know, like 5th, 6th graders, you know, we all kind of walked a little funny, you know, with big heads and everything. But, so it didn't really mean much at that time, you know. Nobody seemed to notice. You know, I wasn't sure what I wanted to do in the world. I wasn't very insecure. So I just went along like normal, and I thought the way that I walked was the way everybody else walked. That wasn't the case. Because when I got into high school, things changed. In high school, kids would start to tease me and call me names like cripple or faggot or gay. Because apparently, since I don't dress like everybody else, I'm gay. And is there anything wrong with being gay? No, not absolutely. You can be whatever you want to be in life. But it kind of hurt me. Because again, I'm in 7th or 8th grade and this is still going on. And it was a lot for me to take in. I just got to school. I'm already being called names. I thought there was something literally wrong with me. And then I figured out that in my eyes for a couple of years, there kind of wasn't something wrong with me. They would say I shouldn't try for sports because I wouldn't make the cut. I wouldn't be fast enough, strong enough, be able to jump high enough, be able to catch a football, dribble a basketball, hit a home run on a baseball field. And that really sucked because in Larimore, sports is a huge part of that community. You know, I'm in band and choir, and I love it. Oh my God. But, I mean, I could play sports right now if I wanted to. I could because of these surgeries. I choose not to because I love music. That's my thing. If you're in basketball, football, volleyball, that's great. You keep doing what you're doing. It's an amazing thing. I mean, it's just music. But those teasing, those names, those people that would kind of try to trip me in the hallway because they knew I didn't have great balance, it led me to a depression. And again, I didn't really know what depression was. I heard people in elementary school talk about it, like, you know, when you're in elementary school, your counselor might come in once a month and say, drugs are bad, alcohol is bad, don't bully, suicide is bad. Then they leave. They did that every Wednesday for like 3 months. I never thought it happened to me, but it did. I went into a depression that lasted 4 years. 4 years I was depressed. I felt alone, sad, lost inside, had no meaning or purpose. Every day after school, after being called countless names and trying to be tripped, and didn't feel like I was accepted, I'd go home and I'd look at my scars and I'd be like, why me? Why me, of all things? There are over 7 billion people on this earth. And why did I have to get this burden? I don't know. And over those 4 years, it got worse and worse and worse, to the point where I almost completely lost my faith. And not just my faith in God, but also my life. I'm being honest right now, I have attempted on my life before. Twice. I have put a gun in my mouth, chambered around, and thumbed to safety. I didn't want to live anymore. I was afraid. I was afraid to go to school. Afraid I'd get beaten up, called even worse names than cripple or faggot. And I wanted to end it all. I did. And I was so ready to, because I was alone. I didn't know another person in the school who felt what I felt, who might have had CP or any other disability. And there was no one like out there looking after me. My best friend was the one that started the name calling. He left me. And him and I patched things up. I still talk to him, and I don't blame him for everything. but it was really hard to lose my best friend freshman year. And then to be called names by his friends and himself. I felt alone, absolutely alone. And I didn't know what to do. I wanted to stay home one day. Actually, I was home, excuse me. My parents weren't home. Sister was at a sleepover, I think. And I woke up, saddest I could ever be in my entire life. And I said, I'm gonna end my life. Put on some clothes, walked down my stairs, into my kitchen. I was gonna go into my dad's gun locker downstairs in the basement. He had taught me how to open it, and I had gone through hunter safety just a couple months before, so I knew how to chamber it properly and use it. I knew what kind of gun I wanted to use too. I'm not going to tell you that because that's symbolic to me. But as I was walking down those steps, counting down the last moments of my life, just taking in breath for those few seconds, I got on the stairs. And I stopped, just like I am now. And what I felt, and I kid you not, the only way I can describe it was pure happiness. Pure happiness. And it was only felt like 5 seconds, but it felt like days. You know that little voice in the back of your head helps out on tests and stuff? It said, don't do it. Don't do it. It said it over and over and over again. The little tone, only I could hear it. It said, don't do it. And I stopped, kind of looked at myself, looked at my hands, I was shaking. And I just didn't do it. I turned around, went back up the stairs, made a sandwich and turned on the Xbox. I went on just like any other regular day in my life. I didn't know what it was. I was actually afraid of what I felt. Because at the time, I didn't believe in God that much. But now that I do believe in God again, after regaining my faith, I can only say that that must have been God telling me not to do that. Telling me to live my life. Because he knew somewhere in my life that I would aspire to things greater than even I could imagine. And he was right. Excuse me. But then, after that moment, I was still depressed. Not as bad, though. But it's like I had found a small tolerance. Went to school, caught up with it, told the bullies to just knock it off. Say, you know what, you may be in sports, but you're not better than me. Still felt sad, though, because people still kind of called me it. But, I mean, what are you going to do? There's going to be some people in there that are just going to try to mess up your life. But I caught up with it for a while. And then, after those first couple of days, when I realized that I could maybe live my life with this and just look past it and find new friends, I got into a new turning point in my life that completely changed my life forever, like that one moment on the stairs did. And I'll never forget that moment. Like I'll never forget this moment we have together right now. My mother told me to join SADD. And this is backtracking a little bit. And again, like I said before, I wasn't interested at all. I mean, I was sad. It was called SADD. It didn't make much sense to me, to be honest. I'm being honest when I say that. And like I said before, I listened to motivational speakers, but it wasn't just the speakers that helped me. It was music. And this is why I connect with music so deeply, passionately. This is why I want to pursue it in my life. Because I feel that music helped me. You know, the shirt I'm wearing today is a 21 Pilot shirt. If anybody knows that band, that's great. They're awesome. I see a few hands. Raise your hands if you know the band 21 Pilots. Oh my goodness. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I counted 10. That's 2 numbers. That's awesome. When I found them, they were nobody. But I found them and they were my band. They're still on my band. I mean the world to me. Their music is something unlike anything I've ever heard. It's great, it's emotional, it's deep, it's passionate, it's scary, but it's awesome all at the same time. It's not just like all the other songs you hear. That's just 11% words and 89% sound. And this kind of music, while it does sound great, the meaning behind it is amazing. I listen to their songs over and over and over again on repeat. Just repeat, until I found like their little band group. They called themselves the Skeleton Club. And I joined that group. And the people that were in that group just accepted me because I realized the people in that group listening to the music the same way, or the same reason why I was listening to it. They were all, as we call ourselves, broken people. We're all a little broken inside, I'm sure. We all got some baggage I would like to either talk about, get off protect, or just forget about entirely. But we all have something in common here. You know, some of you might not have been depressed when you just had a bad day today, yesterday, or the day before. We all have that one thing in common. We all know the feelings of sadness and pure happiness. You have to know pure sadness and know pure happiness. Their music helped me, and I wanted to help. I wanted to create music that could help them as well. And I'm trying to today. I'm trying to get music started in my life. When I was going through my depression, I surrounded myself with music. I learned the drums. I learned ukulele. Or I'm learning ukulele. I know the drums have. I'm learning keyboard, you know, and I'm learning how to play their songs. And after learning how to play through their songs, okay, you know, I'm not great, but after I learned how to play a few notes properly, I was like, man, I want to play drums for the rest of my life. And I hope that someday, actually I am in a band now, I hope that someday my garage band and I, we're called, Twisted Fate, thank you. My band is killing me. Like, they asked me to come on. Like, they had already started the stuff back like 2-3 years ago, and they knew I was a good drummer. Good, you know. They heard me playing a few 21 Pilot songs here and there, and they were like, "Hey, you want to come on?" God, that was so cool. Are you kidding me? I want to be a drummer in my life, part of a band. They asked me to be part of their band. It's so awesome. They not only asked me to come on as a drummer, they wanted me to come on as their songwriter. I don't know anything about songs. Why me? I don't know. But I'm gonna try. I wrote poetry one time in like 6th grade. Maybe they read my poetry, I don't know. But anyway, I think that's pretty cool. So, like, whatever, the point of what I'm saying is that I surround myself with music. And if you're ever down about something, in a bad friendship, relationship, depressed, your dog died, you had a bad day at work, you know, don't be down about it. Find that one thing that makes you just want to do it over and over and over again, and people get sick of it, and then keep doing it. For me, it's music. I listen to it, play it, try to write it, and then try other things. And I do that every day. Every day of my life, I always have my headphones on. And it's great because it reminds me, you know what I'm talking about. It's great because it reminds me that music helped me, and it'll keep helping me. And one day, and this is still my depression, one day in my depression, you know, I was done listening to music for a while. And again, this is like year 4, so it's almost over. It's almost, that's like 3.5. It's almost over. And I go on Instagram, and I don't know why, but I was feeling down again. I almost thought I'd relapse again. And I started looking up these hashtags: suicide, bullying, blood, cuts, worthless. And when I found these images on Instagram, it made me feel so awful. So incredibly awful. And I said, and I was sitting on my couch, and I stood up from my couch, and I said to myself, I don't want people to feel this. I don't want people to feel that depression, or my depression, or the feelings that I went through. I don't want people to be sad. So in that moment, not even helping myself, man, not even like, I'm not even fixed yet. I wanted to fix other people. And that's when I created the group known as Defeat the Sadness. It's an Instagram group dedicated to helping people in any way of their lives. Whether it be posting inspirational quotes, photos, talking to people, or just saying, you know what? I think you're worth it. I think you're worth living. We try to help people every day of our lives, and we're really young. We only started out back in late 2014, and that was when I did my first show. I did my first show, it was called Defeat the Sadness, I think. And there were some people that came to that show in Maryland, and they came up to me afterwards, and they said, man, I've been following your page since like day 1. There were people in that audience, 22, that already knew about the page. It's growing. It's something that I created. It's a support group dedicated to helping others. And that guy, this kid, he's a great kid by the way, he came up to me and he's like, man, I've been following you. I was like, thank you. You know, I didn't think anybody knew about it. I thought my page would just be a speck of cosmic dust on the internet that no one would see. Ever. Oh my God. I lit up those posts with hashtags like you would not believe. I forwarded to everybody I knew. I tagged them. Everything. Twittered them. Tweeted them. Whatever you call it. I don't know. I just got Twitter like in December. Yeah, I'm not that hip. But there was this kid there, and he said, "I've been following you." And he said, "Man, your page has helped me." That one sentence, like, made my month. My, like, entire month. Because this kid that I didn't even know existed found my page that I didn't think he knew existed. And he found something in it. Something that I didn't know would ever help anybody. I didn't even know people that did see the site would ever use it. Think it was good, think it was stupid. But this kid found something in it. And all the hate messages I got about it saying, "Defeat the Sadness is a stupid name. It's only 3 words." You know, there's going to be some haters out there. But the haters kind of elevate you and want you to do more. And that one kid, and I'll never forget it, ever in my life, he made all that haters seem like nothing. There were like 10 haters at the time that was going down. This one kid blocked them all out. He made it worthy for me. He made me want to continue the site. It was great. The site was great to be a beacon of hope. To let people know you're not alone. There are people going through depression or people that have bad days just like you. You're not alone in this world. No matter what baggage you have, you're not. There's probably someone in this room right now who knows how you feel. Because you're just not alone. You can't be alone in this world. It's impossible. Defeat the Sadness was not only a place to stop depression, but also to try to stop bullying. And I say try because it's a tough challenge. But hey, small challenges aren't that great to accomplish anyway. And what's the goal? What's the fun in setting small dreams? You set a small dream, the accomplishment doesn't feel that great. When you set an impossible dream for yourself, you try your hardest to make it possible until it is possible. And all my supporters out there who help me with Defeat the Sadness, and you say, "You know what? Your page is awesome. We're going to make a difference in this world." And I know we will. Because they inspire me to keep going over and over and over again every day of my life. And it's great. Let's see. That seemed to be going pretty good for me. Defeat the Sadness was growing. People were following it, telling their friends, getting messages. You know, obviously some haters still. But some of it was like, "Man, this is great. Your idea is growing. I can see it. You're helping me. You helped my brother. You gave me a reason to live." That was awesome. That actually happened. One kid said that because of him, because of me, he said because of me, he was still alive. Excuse me. And later that night I cried. I was over the joy with happiness. Over the joy, or over the moon with happiness, not over the joy. Over the moon with happiness. Excuse me. Okay, only my second time speaking. Comes some slack. But then, sadly, in 2014, nearly on the brink of ending my depression once and for all, I relapsed hard. Incredibly hard. My friends left me again. And I didn't know what to do. I felt truly alone at the moment I did that day I wanted to end my life. And not only did I think about ending my life, but I cut myself on my wrist. And here's the thing is that I didn't use a knife. Not even sure why. I had a good time at it. But I used a pen. At the time I didn't know why. I know now is what I think. But on my wrist, went like this. This is the point of the pen. And I just went over and over and over again on my arm until it was a bloody, bruised up red mark. Thankfully, it faded. So I never have to look at it again. Apparently it wasn't permanent. Thank God it wasn't. I was going to pay myself for the rest of my life if I ever harmed myself that way. But I caught myself, and I didn't know if I'd be able to pull myself out of the depression. And I didn't know if Defeat the Sadness would end. I didn't know if I could continue. If I wasn't strong enough to help myself, how could I be strong enough to help others? I doubted myself. I was afraid to keep going. I was afraid to let those kids down. I was afraid to let that one kid down that said, you helped me. I didn't think I'd be able to do it. I wanted to be a role model. If I can't even help myself, how can I help others? I didn't know what to do. I was scared and alone and just lost, completely lost. But thankfully, even though I had thoughts of ending my life, I didn't. Because, and again, I'm not really sure why I did this at the time either. Pretty sure God had a plan for me though. But I posted a picture of the cuts to my Snapchat story. People thought it looked like just a cat crash. They didn't think nothing of it. But then there was some kids that filmed my Snapchat from that first landmark show. And they knew what it really was. They knew it wasn't a cat scratch or an accident. They knew it was an intentional thing. And those kids, and that one kid that said, you helped me. You made me turn my life around. He said he felt so disappointed in me. He said that his role model, me, said that I let him down. That hit me so hard. Hit me incredibly hard, worse than any bullying I could have received from any person ever. That one kid that I helped lost his way again. Thankfully, he is still alive today. But if he did commit suicide or hurt himself anymore, I might have blamed myself. I know that the actions of others can't reflect onto me, but I didn't know what to do. When I found out that he knew, I was wrecked. I was a nervous wreck. I cried and cried and cried for days on end. Afraid to do anything, afraid to eat, sleep, because I was afraid of what I see in my head if I'd want to die, or if that kid be dying in my dreams, and my scars, or if he had scars, and I was so afraid to even blink. To see darkness, it was insane. But then, after realizing that I let him down and those other 20 people down, I decided to end my depression. I made a change in my life, and I said, you know what? If I can get up out of bed just like any other day, I can end my depression on any day I please. I felt the power to change my life for the better. And I just said, you know what? I'm going to stop. And that's it. I literally stopped my depression. I went on every social media site you will not believe. Twitter, Snapchat, Kik, Instagram, Twitter, text, phone calling, everything you can think of, Google Plus. Everything you can think of. I'm serious. Everything you can think of. I said, I announced it. I announced my depression. I said, this is how it happened. This is why it happened. This is how long it happened. And I said this is how long it happened because it ended. My 4-year depression ended. And of course, some of my friends in school were like, oh my gosh, you were depressed? Why don't you tell me? Well, it's a hard thing to tell. Not now though, but before it was. But I felt empowered. Not only just to stay alive, but to tell people, you know what, I'm not afraid of what people think of me. If that one kid wants to come at me and say, you're stupid for feeling depressed, you should have just gotten better, you know. Yeah. Then I would have just been like, okay, thank you for your input. I didn't ask. But then there were some kids that responded to that message saying, if you can announce it and tell somebody, maybe I can tell somebody. And I got a message saying from this one kid, this was a different kid from another kid. He said, this is your inspirational post. I posted it over everything I got. All and I thought of it. He said, I love parents. And he said, now we're on the trajectory of fixing my life. He said he was receiving help. He said his parents felt relieved. They wanted to thank me. They want to somehow, they didn't want to call me, thank me. He said that his father wanted to find me someday and shake my hand and say, thank you for saving my son. I don't know I can do that in my life. I'm just a kid from Redmore who likes the drums, and music and movies. I think everybody drinks in this world. I thought to be the status was a speck on the internet. I thought I was a speck on the earth. I could just be wiped out either by bullies or even myself. But it was really cool. This is great, by the way. It was my second turning point. Still at the mark on my skin. But I was so mad at myself. I wanted it to be gone. I wanted it to be erased from my memory. And I knew eventually it might heal because I didn't know how deep it was. But I took a marker that day, a Sharpie black marker, and I drew over it. And it turned out into a rectangle on my arm. Right here. And I looked at it, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is it. I made that rectangle the symbol of defeat the sadness. And what the symbol means, and it ain't nothing cool. It's just a rectangle. It doesn't need to be cool though, because it has huge meaning behind it. You can interpret the symbol into whatever you want. You can say it means hope, it means tranquility, it means happiness, it means to step over the next block, because it's like a block, if you're stepping over. But what I think it means, and this is the official meaning, but again, you can interpret it however you want to leave here today. We're looking to meet some of you guys later today. What it means is that I covered it up, my scar with that mark, with that black bar. And I erased it from my mind. I forgot about it that whole day. And the next day I did it again and again and again. Until there was that mark permanently etched. My mom was like, don't draw it, just kidding. I didn't know it was like one of those like clean, markers, and she was like, you're gonna get sick. And I was like, I'm doing fine, Mom. I was like, I'm the happiest guy I could be right now. And I made that the symbol. And then I was like, you know what? I want to have a support. I want to have my support with Defeat the Sadness as like an official following name, not just Defeat the Sadness, but like 21 Pilots, they call themselves the Skeleton Clip. Well, now Defeat the Sadness followers call ourselves Defeaters. It's it's a little cheesy, but it works. People love it. And I tell you what, it makes me feel great. And it was just amazing. The response I got back from that. People didn't care. There was a black bar. We call ourselves Defeaters. They were like, man, you're taking it seriously now. You're doing stuff. You're going to help people. And I was like, you know what? I will. Because you helped me, and I'm going to help you, and many others. I started posting a lot more on the Instagram page. I started to spread the word. I created a Twitter page, I think, on my first Twitter in December. Some people were like, man, you got to get this out of it. You got to get this out of the realm of distance again. You got to do more live shows or like Facebook or whatever. And I was like, no, I'm going to create a Twitter page. And I tweet about it sometimes. And it's really good. People love that too. And I had big plans, and I still do, because this thing is still growing. I had really big plans for Defeat the Sadness, and I wanted to branch out to YouTube. And this is one of my announcements I told my friends here that came today. I successfully branched out Defeat the Sadness to YouTube. And I created a video called Signs. And I'm going to show you that video today on this monitor. This was our first attempt at a We've Red Scout on another social media site. And excuse me. There you go. Hey, and I created it, and it's a small video. It's only like 2 minutes long, but people love it. And Defeat the Sadness official YouTube page. This is it. This is our first official video ever. You're the first screening of it ever to see it. Besides the 31 people that saw it, because I leaked it a few days early. So here we go. I'll hit the lights for you. It's a 1990 studio production of my blog on Tumblr, follow me there too. Originally, my blog was just to talk about movies, like Transformers and stuff, because they're cool. But when I created a blog, I always wanted to do something with video on it. I wanted to have a video blog, or a vlog. And when I decided I wanted to Defeat the Sadness to be on YouTube, I was like, now I can use my blog for a good reason. And we call ourselves 1990 Studios. This is the first screening ever of the official Defeat the Sadness video, Signs. I hope you enjoy, because I put a lot of hard work into it with my mom to jail me out. So, here you go. I hit my nose.
Just make sure to stick along for the ride. And remember, if you want to help make a difference with us, you can. Because oftentimes, the smallest acts of kindness make the biggest splash. And you can change the world.
I'm glad people like it. You know, only 30 people have seen it now. That's like, what, 160 more? That's fine. I already YouTube it. Love this book, by the way. So yeah, we're definitely going to try to branch out to YouTube more, and we're going to, and I guarantee we will. It's just a great thing to do. People really seem to like videos and stuff. And, you know, there's music in there, and like 21 Pilots, I'm also trying to branch out into music, trying to create music that's inspirational like 21 Pilots can be, and I want to help people through music as well as my speaking. So I'm currently working on an album right now, I'm writing my lyrics, and I hope you guys buy that someday if it ever comes out ever. So hopefully, you know, I'm trying new things here. And, you know, as I'm closing this down, I'm glad I was able to say that we were able to get emotional together. I think we all got a little more connected today. And you can always start over if you need to. Never forget you can start over. And if you need to, you can start over with defeat sadness. We'll accept you for your troubles, your baggage, whoever you are. Doesn't matter. Because you're a great person. Now before I leave, before I do my last thing here, I'd like to ask everybody to close their eyes. Close your eyes to me. And think of that one person in your life, one group of people, who you love more than anything else in the world. Mom, dad, brother, sister, best friend. And just think about what would happen. How would you feel if they hurt themselves? Or what if they ended their life? Just take a moment of silence here. You guys can open your eyes now. Thank you for letting me do that. Because I feel that sometimes we forget people that are born into us in our lives. They might not always be here to help us. But I'm going to try to help preserve lives and to keep life going forward. So thank you for letting me do that. Because I thought of a few people in my life that are not only sitting out here with me today, but also in my life, like my mother, my counselor. So thank you. Before I do the last thing, and this is going to be really fun, is that I'd like to give special thanks to Hope Christian, who's my friend. She may be miles away, but I love her so much. She always finds a way to make me smile. To the people who have helped me make my music career a reality, John Poulter, Elijah Poulter, Cody Davenport, Preston Allstat, and Blake Bowman. They're helping me write songs right now. Excuse me. My mother, like I said, my manager of this whole entire thing. She helped me get that YouTube video set up and got this show together. Pretty much helped me write this. Thank you. To some of the feeders out there who have been with me since day one, who have helped me. Candy Chudowski and Anna Marie, huge people who I really admire. To Craig Hillier, a motivational speaker who not only opened my eyes to the world, but also took time out of his day to talk to me one-on-one and to make me want to become a motivational speaker. And to my loving family, always give me support no matter what I do. And to the 22 people who came to our first show in Larimore, because without them, I would not have been inspired to come here. And of course, all of you guys who came out here today and helped me. So give yourself a quick round of applause. Be all sad. I want us to have this really cool here. So, here's what I want you to do. I want you guys to stand up with me right now. And what I'm going to do is we're going to turn on this song here called Rodeo by Capra. We're just going to dance. We're going to have a good time. If you don't want to dance, that's fine. We just want to look at here, look at the street, and just that's cool. Because we're going to have a good time here. All right, let's go. I want everybody to follow along to get this game started right here. All right. You said? Okay, thank you. All right, everybody ready to go? We got this one. Everybody with the clap. All right, love it. All right, start dancing right now. Come on, start dancing.
Grab some, start handing them out.
Yeah, try handing them out. Thanks, Mom. All right. Okay. Another thing while that's going on, while we're handing them out, I'm gonna do something I think is pretty cool. You ever noticed? Up there is a camera. This camera's recording the whole entire show from the first second. And I'm proud to say that all of you are going to be on the Food Science YouTube page. This video is going to go up on the YouTube page. You guys all going to be on there. That's so cool. Thank you so much. So another thing I want to do is I want to selfie with all you guys. That's cool. Can we do that? Because I want you all to be on that. I want you all to be on my Instagram page and everything. So my Twitter page is all the time. That's cool though. I'm going to keep my eyes on here. We'll all try to see if we can get a photo. You guys have been great. Thank you so much for that. Bag up here. Alright, so everybody's crouching together, we'll take a picture. There's a young kid now. Come on, get me off. Alright, you guys ready? 1, 2, 3. All right, now we're gonna take a selfie. All right, thank you so much. And you guys want to selfie? All right. All right, so we're all gonna scratch in. All right.
My eyes are open wide. By the way, I made it through the day. I watched the world out